Good morning Year 5, and today maths gets a little bit tricky because we've got the introduction of mixed numbers. And here we're being asked to compare 1 2/3 to 1 4/6. And the key part here is to know that the denominator means how many parts there are to the whole. So because I've got one whole number here, that means I must have 3/3 to make up the whole. And I've also got 2/3, and a fraction is part of a whole. So I'll shade in those 2/3 there. The same applies here. I know my one whole is made up of 6/6 because there are 6 parts to the whole. That's what the fraction gives away there, the denominator. And then I also have 4/6 here, which I'll shade in there. Okay. But just as before, it's really difficult, virtually impossible, to compare different denominators. So I use my knowledge of my times tables, and I know that 6 is a multiple of 3. So I can find an equivalent fraction here. Well, the one whole will stay the same, and I'll show what that means in just a moment. And 3 can become 6. By multiplying by 2. And remember, whatever we do to the denominator, we also do to the numerator. So I'll times that by 2 as well. And let's take a look at what that looks like on the bar model. Well, suddenly, my one whole is not split into thirds. It's going to be 6/6 now. Still worth one whole though. And of course, this part here breaks down into 6, so I've got 4/6. So we can say 1 2/3 is actually equal to, it's the same as 1 4/6. So I'm going to use an equal sign there. Trickier again here. I've got a mixed number compared to an improper fraction. So again though, I need to find a common denominator. And I always start with the larger one, and I think about my multiples. Well, 8 doesn't appear in the 3 times table. 16 doesn't appear in the 3 times table. 24 does. It's a common multiple. So we'll use that as our denominator. Okay? And I'll carry down the one whole as well. Can't forget about that. So, well, to make 8 into 24, we times by 3. Well, remember, whatever I do to the denominator, I also do to the numerator. So 10 times by 3 is 30. So 3 times by 8 gives me 24. So I must also times the numerator by 8. So now I've got one whole and 8 24ths compared to 30 24ths. And here I've got a decision to make. I can either convert this into a mixed number, or I can convert this into an improper fraction, and that's the one I'm going to choose to do. Because I know that the one whole, well, that shows me how many parts there are to the whole, is going to be worth 24 24ths. I add that to the fraction, which gives me 32 24ths. So now I can see that 1 1/3 is greater than 10/8, because that's only got 30 24ths. Remember, the smaller number eats the bigger number. And even trickier now, I've got to order the largest to the smallest. I've got improper fractions with different denominators and a mixed number over there. So again, I start with a common denominator. Well, actually, I know my 3's and 2 times table, and I know that 12 is a multiple. So I don't need to change that one. I'm still going to carry it down. So I've got 25 12ths. I'm going to make this one out of 12, and this one out of 12. Well, to have converted this to 12ths, I have to do 2 times 6. Whatever I do to the denominator, I also do to the numerator. 1 times 6 is 6. Here, well, I did 3 times 4 equals 12, so now I've got to do 14 times 4. Well, I worked it out before. It's 56 twelfths. I'm still, though, not ready to compare because I've got improper fraction, and a mixed number here. So again, I'm at that crossroads. I can either convert these two into mixed numbers, or I can convert this into an improper fraction. Well, I'm a mathematician, I always like the quickest route, and it'd be quicker to convert 1 than it would 2. So, let's see what this looks like then as an improper fraction. Well, we know I have 4 whole here. So that means I've got 4 lots of 12 twelfths. So how many twelfths is that worth? Well, 4 times 12 is 48. So those 4 wholes make up 48 twelfths. I add it to the 6 twelfths, which gives me 54 twelfths. And now I'm ready to compare. Well, which is the greatest? Oh, 56 twelfths. So that must be the largest is 14 thirds. The next one, 54 twelfths. So 4 1/2. And then the smallest, just 25 twelfths. There. If you do need help, then log into Google Classroom and we'll try and advise you from there. Best of luck.